Math students, welcome again to Mike Math TV. After we took up how to find the equation of the circle given its center and radius, now we are going to take up how to find the center and radius of the circle given its equation. This is part 2 of our Module 8, Quarter 2 of our Mathematics 10. Are you ready? Come on, let's do it! We are going to determine the center and radius of the circle given its equation in standard form and in general form. But before this, let's have first an activity. Do you still remember how to make a trinomial, a perfect square trinomial? Here we are going to make a trinomial, a PST or a perfect square trinomial, and then after that, express that as square of binomial. This will be used for our lesson today. Let's have an example. T squared plus 10t plus blank. What must be the third term for we to have a perfect square trinomial? How are you going to do it? If you are going to observe, we have here the first term, which is t squared. So therefore, our first term for our binomial must be t. And after that, we must copy the sign of the middle term. If the middle term is negative or minus, write minus. But here, correct, the middle term is positive. So therefore, write here plus. And then, you are going to get half of 10 or the middle term, which is equal now to 5. Again, always get the half of the middle term and then write your answer here for your binomial. So we have t plus 5. After that, we are going to have this or use this later on for our last term in the trinomial. Okay? Again, this must be used for our number in the blank later on. So we have 5 multiplied by that by another 5. But first, we are going to complete our binomial now. This is t plus 5 multiplied by another t plus 5. So therefore, that could be written as t plus 5 quantity square. Easy, right? So we have now, we can use this as our square of binomial. And then, we are going to go now to our blank. What must be on our blank now? Okay? It must be square of 5. Okay? 5 times 5, we are going to get an answer which is equal to 25. Correct. Okay? So, now, this is our trinomial or PST, t squared plus 10t plus 25. And then our binomial or square of binomial is t plus 5 quantity square. I hope you get it. Let's proceed now to another one, but this time we have a timer. Try to answer this on your own and then try to beat the time. Okay? Applying the lesson or the review earlier on finding the third term. Here we are going to make a trinomial or PST again. Timer starts now. Okay, stop. What is your answer? Let's check it. Of course, we are going to get first our binomial or try to get first our binomial. This must be R minus 7. Very good. So we are going to get half of the middle term and copy the sign of the middle term. So again, this is r minus 7. Then multiply by r minus 7, that is r minus 7 quantity square on our other form. Now, we are going to complete the term. The blank must be the square of 7. 7 times 7, our answer is equal to, very good, we have 49. I hope you got the first one. Let's proceed to the second. There is a timer also, but this time 30 seconds for this question. What must be the third term? W square plus 9w plus. Okay. Again, let me emphasize that the last term must always be positive. It will never happen that the last term could be negative on the last term. Okay, again, this must always be positive or plus. Timer starts now. Okay, stop now. So here, class, we have w squared plus 9w. So we must have w plus, okay, that is our start. W plus, what is half of 9? If we don't have the half of 9, we are going to write it simply as 9 over 2. I mean to say, we don't have exact answer for 9 divided by 2, right? So therefore, we are going to write here w plus 9 over 2. I hope you got it. So we have w plus 9 over 2 quantity square. And how about the last term for our trinomial? It must be 9 over 2 times 9 over 2 to get an answer which is correct. That is 81 over 4. I hope you got it. Easy, right? Let's proceed to the third one. How about if we have this? Okay, it's almost the same with the problem earlier. I hope you can do it. Timer starts now. Okay, stop. Let's check your answer. That is x minus 11 over 2. Correct. Okay. So you have here x minus 11 over 2 quantity square. And how about the last term? It must be 11 over 2 times 11 over 2. Your answer is correct. 121 over 4. I hope you got it. Let's proceed now to the fourth one. How about if the middle term is a fraction? Ayan. So here we have s squared plus 1/3 s plus blank. Okay? So how are we going to get the half of fraction? You are going to remember that in dividing fractions, you must get the reciprocal. Okay, timer starts now. Okay, stop. The answer is S plus 1 over 6 quantity square. Why 1 over 6? Because 1/3 divided by 2 is 1/3 times the reciprocal of 2 over 1. So 1/3 times 1/2. And the answer for that is 1 over 6. Did you get it? I hope so. Okay. So again, remember that in division of fractions, you must multiply by a reciprocal of the second number or by the reciprocal of our divisor. Don't forget that. Let's proceed to the last term. So what is 1 over 6 times 1 over 6? We have, okay, 1 over 36. I hope you get it. Let's proceed to the last question or last problem. This is again 30 seconds. This time we have t squared minus 3/4t plus blank. Okay, timer starts now. Okay, stop. Let's check your answer. This is the last problem. I hope you will get it. So we have t minus, what is half of 3/4? So 3/4 times 1/2. The answer for that is 3 over 8. Correct. Okay. So t minus 3 over 8 quantity square, that is our binomial. And then, what must be the last term here? We are going to multiply 3 over 8 times 3 over 8. The answer is correct. 9 over 64. I hope you got all the 5 problems correctly. How to find the PST? Let's proceed now to the next one. This time, we are going to go with our topic, how to determine the center and radius of the circle given its equation. If the equation in standard form, it will be easy for us to find the center and radius. How about if in general form? Okay, so what are we going to do with that? Let's have this first example. Determine the center and radius of the circle x squared plus y squared equals 225. Okay, this is already in standard form because we have the right side, which is 225, and this is not equal to 0. What you must remember is, if the right side of the equation is equal to 0, that is general form. If that is equal to a constant number, that is in standard form. So now, let's have the solution or our center and radius for this equation in standard form. First, we are going to have the formula, and then since our left side is x squared plus y squared, again, if that is x squared plus y squared, your center is always at 0, 0. Okay, I hope you got it. Let's proceed now to how to find the radius. So the radius is, okay, so since r squared is equal to 225, the right side of the equation, then we can have take the square root of both sides of the equation, of course. Then r now is equal to 15 because 15 times 15 is equal to 225. I hope you got that. Okay, let's proceed now to the next one. Determine the center and radius of the circle. This time the equation is x squared plus quantity y plus 5 square or y plus 5 quantity square equals 1. Okay, how to find the center? In standard form, we are going to have our h and k. For we to have that, we have this formula for h and k. Okay, if you have a parenthesis or a group for your x or y or both, you must use your h and k, and here we have our h, which is equal to 0. Okay. Why 0? Because we don't have here a partner or a group for our x. And then for our y, we have here positive 5 or plus 5. We will simply get the opposite of that. So what is the opposite of our positive 5 here? We have negative 5. So therefore, our h or our k must be negative 5. So therefore, our center must be at 0, negative 5. How about the radius? Like what we did earlier, since our r squared is equal to 1, of course, our solution will be like this, and r is equal to square root of 1. The answer must be equal to 1. I hope you get it. Easy, right? Okay, come on, let's proceed to the third one. This time, the equation is in general form. Don't worry, I will guide you how to do this. So we have here the equation x squared plus y squared minus 12x minus 2y minus 27 equals 0. Okay, so we have it for our solution now. Since this is in general form, first step is we are going to put our constant on the right side to make it in standard form. Why do we need to make it in standard form? So that we can easily find our center and radius. So here, our constant is negative 27. So therefore, we must transpose that on the right side. This will become, and then after that, you are going to group also your x. So here we have x squared minus 12x for our first group, and y squared minus 2y on our second group. Then put a plus sign between them. So we have a group of x and a group of y, and then we are going to apply what you have reviewed earlier on our PST or perfect square trinomial. Okay. So, because we are going to focus on x minus h quantity square plus y minus k quantity square, which are square of binomial, and then if we have that square of binomial, we can have our h and k. So, we are going to apply what we have reviewed earlier. So, here we have x minus 6 quantity square, and we have this one y minus 1 quantity square. So first we are going to complete the trinomial. Ayan. So here we have half of 12, which is 6 times 6, we have 36, and then half of 2, that is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Why did we make the perfect square trinomial here? So that we will know what is our last term. And then the last term that we have put on the first and second group must also be placed or must be added also to our number on the right side to make the equation, of course, balance. I hope you got it. So always remember, what you did on the left must also be done on the right. Ayan. So we have this one, 27 plus 36 plus 1. Our answer for that is 64. And then factor this as a square of binomial. We have this like what I have said a while ago. I hope you got it. And then we can now find our h and our k here. Okay, I hope you got it. And then we have this one, h, we have our k, and our r square. Remember, the right side of the equation is always a or an r square. So here we have our r square equals 64. Then we can find now our h, which is the opposite of negative 6, our k, which is the opposite of negative 1, and our r square is equal to 64. So therefore, r is equal to the square root of 64, which is equal to 8. I hope you got it. You know already how to find the center and radius of the circle if the equation is in general form. Is there a simpler way how to do it? Okay, let's have another method for that. Same question or same equation, but this time we are going to use a different method. Now, we are going to use what you have learned from part 1 of our module 8. Do you still remember our general form could be written or is written always in the form x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Okay? So therefore, we must have this numerical coefficient of x as d, the numerical coefficient of y as our e, and then the constant as our f. And we have a formula for that. Okay? So what is the formula for our d? Negative 2h. So since our d is equal to negative 12, we can substitute this d now by negative 12. So this is now negative 12 equals negative 2h. Simply divide both sides by negative 2. Your answer is equal to positive 6. That is our h. And how about for our e? We also have a formula for that. Still remember? So e is equal to negative 2k. And here, since our e is negative 2, we can have negative 2 is equal to negative 2k. Simply divide by negative 2 here. You can have k is equal to positive 1. Now, since we have h and k, we can have now our center. So we can have center at where? We have positive 6, positive 1, or 6, 1. I hope you get it. Okay, let's proceed now to R. How to find our R? This is our F. So if our F is equal to negative 27, we can use that to find our R because the formula for our F is h squared plus h squared minus R squared. And then you can have a substitution again here. So we have F already, which is equal to negative 27. Okay. And then we can have our H and our K from our answer a while ago. Then we can have our R later. So just substitute and then simplify our answer. We can have the square of 36, which is equal to 36, and the square of 1, which is equal to 1. And then you are going to apply algebraic manipulation. You may use transposition. Then this is negative R squared. What your goal is positive R squared, so you are going to transpose this on the left side. That will become now R squared is equal to 36 plus 1 plus 27. Be careful with the signs once you transpose. And then you are going to have an answer. R squared is equal to 64. And like what you did earlier, simply get the square root of 64. Your answer R is equal to 8. I hope you get it. Okay? So that is how we are going to find the center and radius of the circle in another way if the equation is in general form. It's up to you which method are you going to use. You may use the PST or perfect square trinomial, or you may use the D, E, and F. Let's have now an independent activity 3 for your module number 8. Here we have a pandemic. Okay? So since we have a pandemic, we must protect ourselves. And how are we going to protect ourselves? We must obey the rules set up by IATF, okay, wherein we have different guidelines to be followed. Now, we must protect ourselves for the sake of our family or loved ones and for the sake of our community. So this is our social responsibility now. We are protecting ourselves not only for us but also for others. Now let's have this one. Find the center and radius of the circle given the equation. And let's have this activity. So here we have number 1, 2, 3, and 4. For number 1, standard form, we can have this. Actually, you may do it mentally. So this is positive 1 and positive 3. So we can have we must have the opposite for that. And that is now negative 1, negative 3. So that will be your center of the circle. I hope you got it. Let's proceed now to the next one. How about our R? For finding your R, you must always get or take the square root of the number on the right side. What is the square root of 99? You don't have exact answer, right? But this time, you may factor that as square root of 9 times square root of 11. And the square root of 9 is equal to 3. So we have 3 square root of 11. That's it. I hope you get it. Let's proceed now to number 2. Here we have our center 0 because we don't have a parenthesis or group here for x. So 0, then positive 4. So we have now the center 0, 4. Easy, right? Then let's proceed to the r. Since this is 81, take again the square root of our right side. R is equal to square root of 81. And your answer is equal to 9. Very good. And let's proceed to number 3. For number 3, you are going to have this one. Positive 9. So therefore, this is negative 9. Positive 1. Your answer is correct. So we have the center at 9 or negative 9, 1. And then we have the square root of 100, which is equal to 10. Ayan. So I hope you got the third one. Let's proceed to the last problem. Okay, so here we have x squared plus y squared. Wow, it's so easy because you don't have a group of x, and for y here, you don't have a parenthesis. So just put 0, 0, or the point of origin. And then you have the radius is equal to square root of 324. Do we have square root of 324? Yes, we have. And the answer for that is 18. So we have radius is equal to 18. I hope you got all the 4 problems correctly now. Says here, learn everything you can, any time you can, from anyone you can. There will always come a time when you will be grateful you did. So don't stop learning. Thank you for today. Stay safe. Bye.